Hey guys, Patrick Walters here. What I'm going to show y'all is some of my top bed fishing baits. You know, there's not really any kind of specialty bait out there that catches one fish better than the other. It's really what you have the most confidence in. I throw two different techniques, and this is when I'm bed fishing. When I see the fish, it's locked on the bed, and I'm trying to agitate it and catch it. Not necessarily when fish are spawning and I'm burning the bank looking for fish. This is what I'm going to throw when the fish are on the bed. It's basically two baits. It's going to be a wacky worm and a Texas rig. It's going to be a light Texas rig. This is a 5/16 tungsten, I believe. I'll throw a 5/16, a quarter, 3/16. Really something you want to keep it on the bed long enough where you can sit there and twitch it. But I don't really go over that much. Every now and then I will go to a 3/8 if it's a little bit deeper or I'm trying to agitate that fish a little bit. I'm throwing that on 20-pound fluorocarbon, Sufix fluorocarbon, 4/0 VMC flipping hook, and the Zoom Speed Craw. And I'm gonna break back in the Texas rig real quick. Actually, we'll dive into it. I throw two colors basically. I'm gonna throw a natural color, whether it's green pumpkin. I love tilapia magic as well, something with a little flake. I'm gonna throw the Zoom Speed Craw or the Zoom Z Craw. I throw green pumpkin like that natural color, or I'm gonna go with white. You can't beat white for bed fishing. You can just see it. You can agitate those fish so well. You see where your bait's at all times on that bed. I'll go to white second though. I'm gonna start with green pumpkin. Cut them. I'm gonna start with a natural color. That's my go-to. Cook got me on that a while back too. It's a good color. Because everybody in bed fishing starts with a bright color they can see, and those fish they get keen to it, and they'll get hard to bite. And you got a quicker chance of catching them in fewer casts if you start with natural color. And then if that fish is locked on, he's not really gonna bite, I will then switch to white to agitate those fish. So I'm gonna put that on the Texas rig. I'll switch between the two. I think I like, it's hard to choose between which one I love more, the Speed Craw or the Z Craw. I like the Z Craw a lot because how thin it is. You get a really good hookup on it. You can see it's just such a thin body that hook penetrates, that BMC flipping hook. I mean, it penetrates so easy. It just, as soon as they bite it. And I throw smaller baits. I'm gonna throw the Speed Craw, the Ultra Vibe Speed Craw, or the Z Craw Jr, because they're gonna nip at it a lot. They're gonna grab the pinchers, and when he grabs that, he'll grab the pinchers a little bit, but if he grabs any of that body, he's getting that hook, and that's what I want. So I'll throw smaller baits, that way you can sit there and agitate them a little bit. If I'm, say, somewhere in Texas or Florida, say sometimes here at Santee, and it's a 8-10 pound plus fish, I will throw a bigger bait in there, like a big tube or a big Z Craw, something just to get those fish a little fired up. And my second approach is the wacky worm. You can't beat a wacky worm during the spawn. It falls slow, but a lot of times too, sinking it down there to the bed, it's not intrusive. They're always gonna bite a worm. That's something you just sink right there to them, and you can just sit there and work it on the bed. I'll start with this far away from the fish, and then as I'm working my way up to them, you'll just sit there and work the fish. If the fish are a little more pressured, the wacky worm's typically going to be your deal, but if you can sit there and work the fish, the Texas rig is going to be your deal. So if you want to hurry up and boat flip them and winch them in the boat, go with the Texas rig, and if you have to finesse that fish down, the wacky worm's going to be your ticket.